What's up, everybody? It's Ed here from Geek, and I'm here with Rob. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Rob.
And today we are back with the co-founder of WhatConverts, Michael Cooney. What's up, Michael?
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so after we did the Google Agency roundtable, I'm having a tough time talking today. After we did the Google Ads Agency roundtable last week, we chatted offline and wanted Michael to come back on and give us a kind of an overview of what Converts is and how it works, and then maybe a quick demo on the back end to just walk through and show people what it actually does. I was under the impression that WhatConverts was a call tracking platform, and told Michael, slapped me around and told me it's not a call tracking platform, it's a lead tracking platform. So wanted him to come back on and kind of give us an overview of what this is and how it works. And Michael's going to take over. Let me just set up the screen share. So you are good to go.
Okay, awesome. And so when you say we're not a call tracking platform, we include awesome call tracking, but call tracking is only a portion of the entire platform.
True.
So, but our call tracking by itself is amazing. Let me, I don't want to, okay, I'm going to put the video to the side there and then share the screen over here. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, this is a very simple slide. It's not made for production, but it really communicates something that's really important to WhatConverts. So we communicate, and our whole viewpoint is around leads. And for us, a lead is somebody who comes to a website, you know, from an ad or a click. They've just clicked on the ad, they come to a website and they want to buy something, or they want to request a quote for something. So you want to know who that person is, you want to know what they want, and you want to know where they come from. So for us, that is a lead. And the importance of a lead and why we communicate with leads and we capture all the lead data is because leads, as you can see, are the connection between the marketing side and the sales side. So being in the marketing world, been in this world for 20 years, and what I've become to realize is that marketing sends over leads, you know, to your client, and then they don't answer the phone, or they send over a great lead and the call is answered really badly, and they don't know, you know, the salesperson doesn't know what they're doing. So we get to find that if you're delivering leads which have value, because each lead is an opportunity to make a sale, and if that conversion from lead to sale doesn't happen, you're losing marketing value, which affects the marketer and your marketing budgets and your ad campaigns. So we determined we're going to get you the value of your marketing at the stage that you deliver the lead. So for that, you have to see the insights in the lead. You have to know who the lead is, you know, what they wanted and the value of that lead. And also when you deliver that lead, that's where you measure the value. So there's a whole nother, we could go on and on about that, but today I'm going to just stick with me. That's why we communicate with leads. That's why we capture leads, is for the marketing side. And many marketers don't get to see the sales side. They don't have access to the CRM where the sales value happens. So I just want you to know that's why the lead's so important to us. The other thing I want to mention about a lead, if you talk in a context in terms of someone like does content marketing, a lead to them may be an ebook download. So with WhatConverts, you can capture somebody filling in a form, you know, to subscribe to to get an ebook download, but we're really looking for those leads that deliver sales. So this isn't for content marketing where you're just capturing emails to do lead nurturing. We're talking about leads that are opportunities to make sales. Okay, are we good on that?
We're good.
Yes,
Okay. So that's the only slide I'm going to do. I'm not going to subject you to a whole lot of slides. Okay. And we're going to go straight into the WhatConverts dashboard. This is actually the leads view. If I show you the dashboard, what we've done here is we're giving you an entryway for you as an agency or for your client to see how many leads are generated. So you can see straight away, we're going to show you how many leads were generated. We're going to show you like how many were forums, how many were calls and chats on a timeline. We like to see it on a timeline because it shows you like when a problem happens. And in this case, you can see, you know, when the weekends are. So
I love that you have chats in there. That's awesome.
Yeah. And we also do e-commerce transactions as well. So any conversion action you have in your website, you can get into our dashboard. And it makes a big difference seeing something in one place. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to show you, you know, we're going to sum it up. Phone calls, there were 274. Web forms, there's 102. Down the bottom, which source and medium generated more leads? So Google Organic is winning, and we do it by the different types. One click to the full report. Which one has the most value? We show you that as well. Which pages generated the most value? That's here. You can see the full report below that. Your most recent leads, you can click into that. And then which source medium generate the most quote value? So Google Organic, generated $35,000 in quoted value. And then on the sales side, it was 36,000. So we'll get into that, but that's just our dashboard. The idea here is to just give you a nice entrance, a nice overview of your data, and you can see the health of your account, for your client, or, for your agent, for the client to come in and see the health of their marketing.
So you can adjust this by date range, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the date range is up here. Very
cool.
And just to let you know, I'm using demo data. So that's what my date range is in 2020, and it's so there's no confidential data in here.
Cool.
So I can say. Okay, so from an agency point of view, WhatConverts was built in mind with the agency first. And what I mean by that, everything in terms of how the account is structured, how the information is shown. So if you go here, we have a master account, our account, and a profile. So the master account is like your agency account, and each account under that is a client account. You can have as many as you want. To get to the client, it's super simple. So I've got, my dentist account. You can get to any account just by a quick search, and then I've got a specific profile. So we make it easy, whether you have, 10 clients or whether you have 2,000 clients, you can get to them very easily. We have the structure purpose-built for agencies. So I'm just going to pop on into this one here. So that's the one we're in. The other one, I mean, if I go back to overview and look at all my accounts, the interesting thing here is the dashboard changes. Now you're going to see all the leads from all your clients in one dashboard. And then from here, you can see which account is generating more leads. So as I mentioned, this is demo data. So it's just that one account is basically has data. But if you had several clients, it's going to show you your clients by how many leads you're generating for them. And then if you want to see more, it's just one click to the report, and it'll show you all your clients by how many leads you've generated for them. Okay, so that's just one insight into how we think of the agency features. The other thing you can do is you can manage account, add accounts. You can see usage by account. So it will break down the telephone numbers you use, the minutes, how many forms, how many chats, how many e-commerce. You have your billing. You can assign users to any account. You can assign one user to multiple accounts, or, you got options. You can get them assigned anywhere. You can give them specific roles. If you just want somebody to only see reporting, but they can't change anything, you can do that. Or if you want them to have full access, you can do that as well. White label, there's security, and there's also additional settings. Okay. Do you have any questions before I jump into the lead manager?
What was the white label section in there?
So the white label section is just it's a complete white label. So when you click on this, WhatConverts is totally hidden. So you can change the appearance, your logo. So you can see I'm actually looking at a white label logo. Here's another. I'll show you a white label here.
So basically, if we wanted to white label this and use it for ClicksGeek, it would say ClicksGeek as a logo in the corner. If we gave our clients a login, they can log into their own WhatConverts dashboard. It'll be branded to us though.
Yes. Yep. Everything, if you look at the top here, this domain is not WhatConverts. So you get this, the white label, everything's WhatConverts, even the email notifications, they're not WhatConverts, they your brand. So if you use us, the only indicator that anyone will ever know that it's WhatConverts is if you look at the tracking code and the source code. And even there, we try and hide it. Our tracking code is icon node. It doesn't say WhatConverts.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try and hide it.
Very cool.
For you.
What about, so let's say ClicksGeek is our brand, and then we've got a white label agency, another agency that we're white labeling for, and then the end user client. When that end user client logs into their sub account or their profile, what logo will they be seeing when they log in?
So we've got options.
Okay.
So if you just have one agency account, and it's ClicksGeek, everything will be ClicksGeek. But if you have another agency and you want them to see that other agencies, we'll need to open up an agency account for that, but we will connect to your login so you can see both agencies.
Got it.
So you can get whatever you want. We can sort it out.
Got it. Cool.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, this is how you manage accounts. I'm not going to go into too much of that. Let's go into the leads. Oh, I want to go into my dentist. And most accounts only have one profile. Sometimes what happens if you have one client that has 3 different websites, you'll have one account, but 3 profiles, so that the data for each website is stored in its own profile. So
got it.
I don't know if you have that kind of flexibility. Okay, so this is our lead manager view. And again, this has been designed for the agency in mind and for the client. So we want clients, to be able to come in here and to use it as a, to manage their leads. People sometimes say, well, you're almost a CRM, and we're not trying to be a CRM, because a CRM has follow-up mechanisms, has pipelines, has opportunities. It goes an extra step further. So this is a lead manager where as leads come in, you can action them, see where they came from, filter them, and I'll show you a bit of that. So you may look at it and say, well, this looks a bit like a CRM. It's more, to me, it's more like a spreadsheet purpose-built for lead management. So when you look at it, so first of all, we give you the highlights, how many leads, the breakdown by calls, forms, and chats, and you got your quote value and your sales value. This is added up for the date range that you're looking at. So when for each lead that you get, you put in a value, you can get that at the top there. We show you how many are qualified. We call qualified leads quotable. The reason we do that is because we're not talking about ebook leads. We're talking about whether you can quote a lead or not. So if that works or not, some people push back on it, but we like it. Okay, so if you go, so that's at the top there. And the one thing that's nice is when you're looking at this view in the dashboard, you can hide it, and you can save that view so you don't have it displaying. But one thing that's cool that I like to show people is you can just apply a filter to this data. Like I've got a Google Ads filter, I just click on it here, and all the data changes. So now all of a sudden, you're only seeing the value from Google Ads.
Wow.
And so if I hide this now, what you're seeing now is I've created these different views at the top here. I've got the default view. So if I go to the default view, it's got everything. I have a marketing view. And in this marketing view, you've got your phone calls, your chats, your forms all together. As the leads come in, which ones are quotable, the source, medium, keyword, and landing page. So you're looking at all this and you could say to me, well, Michael, what are the value of these leads? And you just say, choose column. I want quote value. And now you have your quote value next to your leads.
So the quote value is something that when you're setting up the client, you set that, right? In the beginning?
No, it's as the lead comes in, your client or yourself can add the quote value, or you can link up to your CRM and we can automatically feed that data into us.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So we make it easy to link up to CRM so you can get this. So we pass the lead to the CRM. As that lead goes through the sales process, it fires back data to WhatConverts. So yeah, so in this case, what I want to show you is we have all these columns that are available that you can put there. And then once you have something that you're happy with and you want to save a view, like these are saved views, you just say, save view, save as new view, or update an existing view. So if I say update existing view, you can say, I want to update the marketing view to include the quote value column, and I update view. Now that view, every time I go to marketing view, it's going to show me this view. Okay. And then the other thing you can do with this is like, you know what? I only want to look at leads that are qualified. You just select this. Now I'm only looking at the qualified leads. Then you may say to me, I only want to see leads that are from Google Ads. You type in CPC. Now I'm looking at all CPC leads. And then if you want to filter it down to Google, now I'm only looking at Google ad leads that are qualified. So it makes it very easy. And that's why I say it's purpose built for lead management, because it makes it super easy to just massage your data and see how you want to see it. So if you try to do this in Excel or Google Sheets, you'd have to be pretty competent. You'd have to have expert level to do that.
So you can segment it by marketing channel, pretty much.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You can segment it by anything. So if you want to segment it by, show me, like this is a dental example. So show me any leads that have the keyword crown, in it. So, like dental crowns. So I just put in crown. I'm only looking at leads with the keyword crown in it, and here are all the keywords here.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
especially for dental, if you can sort by like implants or something like that, then you can see how much of your budget and how much your leads went towards a high value service.
Exactly. So if I go implants, so now I'm looking at the implant leads. And you see how quick it is.
Yeah,
that's one of the features of WhatConverts. So there's a few things here that differentiates us. Obviously, the dashboard and the lead manager, that's like a spreadsheet, and that you can segment anything you want. The other thing that differentiates us is our data isn't siloed. So you've got calls, chats, forums all together. No other platform does that the way we can do it. So that's a really big differentiator. The other thing, like the landing page, like let's say you do Google organic and you don't have keyword data, but you want to know, like, did I get leads, from Google organic for crowns? That they probably landed on the crowns page. So you just type that in, does include crowns in the landing page URL. And now you're using the URL, which is going to bring in the CPC and the organic results. And then it's going to show you this. So when I'm looking at this and I see a lot of repetition here, I'll show you our reporting platform will allow you to do the same thing, but you can run a report by keyword or by landing page. And then you can say, I want the landing page report only from Google CPC or only from Google organic. So that's very powerful. You got to stop me from going down rabbit trails.
I actually have a question about the reporting. How does that work? How does the reporting work?
I'll show you that, but let me just finish this. I just want to show you. So I've shown you the marketing view. So you can set up this marketing view. You can do this in sort and save. You can move these columns around and then save it. You can have one like for the client view. And what I do with the client view is, like, here, instead of having marketing data, I just have the contact information, who the people are, whether they were quotable, is it the quote value, who the salesperson is, are they a patient? Is it an existing or a new patient?
Yeah.
So what I'm showing you here is, like, when you go to client, they don't necessarily need to know the marketing information, but they want to know that the people you generated for them are legit. And so the client view is built for them. They come in here, they view the client view, and they're like, okay, my marketing team is doing this for me. Okay, then the other way you can use it is like a sales inbox. So in this one, what I've done is I've applied filters to, like, any lead that's not set, that they haven't been qualified. So there's 9 leads. And then I also set it that I only want to do this for the salesperson, John. So now I'm only looking at, so John logs in here, he gets his sales inbox and he knows I've got 9 leads to action. As he actions them, and he goes through here and he says, yep, this one's qualified. Now it changes. Now it's only 8 leads. So he can get to lead inbox 0 in a very organized way. And then your client, if they're managing John, they can go to John's view and say, well, let's see what leads he's not actioning yet. And it'll just give him a great view. So no lead gets left behind. They can see what happens. And if they want to listen to a phone call that John was on, they can listen to it. And there's a transcript on that as well. So I just want to show you that. And then I'm going to jump over to reporting. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
So the other thing that's really cool about this is you got all this data in the table form, but now you want the real detailed information. This is, you can view the lead. And what we're going to give you here is who the person is. So if one person comes to your website and does a conversion action and we get their contact information, we save that information. So if they ever interact with the website again, that data is already there and you don't need to add it again, and it's automatically done. The other thing is the customer journey. You can see they came from Google Ads, the campaign, the content being the ad, and then the keyword that they used, and the landing and the pages that they viewed. So you can see exactly what pages they visited as well on the site. To the right, you got the call recording, which you can listen to and also speed up, and then you got the full transcript, so you can read what they said. which I find reading, just skimming it is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Once you got that, you can add the quote value, sales value, quotable, yes or no. And then in the custom field, new patient or the sales. So John as a salesperson can put himself as a salesperson. New patient is actually automatically created because we have a call flow. So when somebody calls in and says, are you a new patient? Push 1, or an existing patient, push 2. If they push one of those, we automatically update the data and capture that. So if I'm on screen and I'm looking to the side, that's because my video of these guys are on another monitor and I keep on looking at them. So, anyway, so you can see all the amount of data. We have a ton of data available. That's easy to see pretty quickly, and you can go from lead to lead. So people that have used, so I wish Mark was on here, because Mark would tell you he's getting his customers in here and they love it, and they get to see the conversion rates from lead to qualified lead. They get to see the quote and the sales value, and it's really helping him make sure that they're answering the leads that he's generating properly. So that would have been a live use case that would have been useful for me at this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely get with them after. So I'm curious to see like what user adoption is like at the end user, like picture a tow truck driver to see, do you envision him in here actually using it? Or is it something more as like a repository? Like how are they treating it?
So it depends on, I hate that answer. It depends,
Right,
but
no,
it does
though,
depend.
I get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys on their cell phone, they can get an email notification when a lead comes in. And in that email notification, it says, was this a quotable lead? Yes or no? So they can click yes, and then it'll take them to the page and they can give it a value. So that's how it's used sometimes. Sometimes if people take a phone call, we can set it up when the call ends. It asks you on the phone call, push 1 if this was a quotable lead. And then it was like, do you want to put in a value? So that can be
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, that can be set up. You can, connect it to a CRM. What we also do, like some of our plumbing clients, they use Service Titan. Those guys export their orders and then they import it into our system to match up the leads to, so they do it like once a week or once a month, and they do it that way.
Gotcha.
What I've done with my personal clients, because I still got a handful that's, from the good old days and I use my software on them. I will run a campaign and then I will qualify the leads with them, like just take 100 leads and qualify them just once. And just doing that process, it has so many benefits. One, it builds trust and transparency between me and the client. We get to see the value. Then me as a marketer, as we're doing it, I'm asking them, well, what made this quotable? What was it about it? What was it that didn't make it quotable? And from that, I get insights and ideas for additional campaign tweaks. So that depends. There's literally, we try and be as flexible as possible, but then we also try and make a user interface that people want to use. And once they start using it to manage their leads and realize that they don't have to dig up old leads from the email inbox, if they don't have a CRM, they find that this is a lot easier. And then, they start using this.
Do you find people use this as like a light CRM as well?
Yeah. So what I would say is you can use it as a CRM if your sales process is short, like a week or so. Because what happens is, because it's by date range, if you're looking at the wrong date range, that customer isn't going to be there.
Got it.
So if it's a short date range, you can use it as a light CRM. If it's longer than a couple of weeks, I'd recommend a CRM, especially if you have a decent amount.
Got it. Okay. And can you text back from this platform if a person texts the line?
No, you can't. We don't have texting. We do have an integration through Zapier to some texting things, so that the text will be sent to those software applications, and then they can text back from there.
Got it. Okay.
So that's kind of a workaround.
Got it. And are there any CRMs out of the box that you guys integrate with, or is it all via Zapier?
Most of it's Zapier, but the ones that are fairly simple, like if you just want a light CRM that's not too crazy, like one-page CRM is pretty good.
Okay.
We've worked with the heavier ones are Zoho, Salesforce, and HubSpot CRM.
Got it.
So we have people that integrate with that, but it's a little bit more heavy lifting. But if they're at that level, they know what they pretty much know what they're doing. Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I always I get the people ask if they should be using like a local business should be using a CRM, and I typically recommend Pipedrive or something simple mobile based. I got to look up one page CRM. I'm not familiar with that, but even something like this though, I think would be super beneficial for a customer that's not using a CRM, even if it cycles a little bit longer, just because it's better than nothing. Like, and better than, it's the data is there. I mean,
it's better than getting an email and then with lead data and then just, it gets lost in the shuffle of your email.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. And do you find it adoptable where people are putting quotable value in there?
Some
not.
Yeah, we have some customers that come in and they want to be able to do that straight from the get-go, and they use it and it's just like, wow, where have you been all my life?
Got it.
I know with my like personal customers where they're not as tech challenged, I have to ask them a few times to get it done. And then when competitors are beating them in ads, or like spend is going up, and there's like, what can we do? And I said, guys, if you just qualify these leads, I can target more accurately. And then they're like, okay, let's do that. Or it's like, or if they want to see what their salespeople are doing with the leads, are they doing, the most work? Once they start feeding it in their pocket, or it's hurting them elsewhere, then they're like, okay, we need to do it. And then once they start doing it, they love the data they can get from it. So there is friction because you're dealing with people and you have to change their behavior slightly.
Got it. And is this mobile based, or is there mobile app?
We have a mobile version on the mobile device. We don't have an app, but yeah, we have a mobile version. It is mobile friendly. Okay, cool.
How does this sync with Google Ads to track the conversions? Is there a code that you guys generate?
It syncs beautifully. Let me I want to show you something because it's really important, and I think we do it really well. Let me go. I'll just go in here. So I'm going to go to another account here. I might have to change the date range. You're going to mess up the demo here by asking that question. I'm gonna, yeah. Don't worry about the data and all that. But so I'm looking at all the Google Ads things here and what comes through, and then what you can do here is we have a column where where is it now? I just gotta find it. It's in this account. We've added a lot. Yeah, Google Ads conversion. So what this does is it tells you, like, we send that ad conversion to Google, and then when Google receives it, it sends back a notification that it's successful. So if any conversions don't go through, it will show like failed, and then it will give you an error message.
So my question is, how does it send it to Google? Is it does WhatConverts directly link it with your MCC or your Google Ads account?
Yeah, absolutely. So integrations, we do it great. So here, Google Ads. Okay. So we have a native integration with Google Ads and Google Analytics, also Search 360.
Yeah. So you just log into your Google Ads account, and then it automatically WhatConverts automatically create a conversion action in the Google Ads account?
Exactly. Yeah. So so this is your MCC, this is your account, this is your lead conversion name, this is your call extension conversion name. Now this is something different that most people don't have. You can choose, do you want first click or last click? Like, what attribution window do you want to look at? So we give you a look back window. So this one's set at first click for 90 days. The other thing we do that most people don't do is you can choose to send a lead when when all leads are received, we send them all as conversions, or you can send it only qualified leads, or you can send it only once we have a sales value.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So those triggers, what we've been finding is the companies that qualify leads, they're saying once they do this, the accuracy and the automated bidding works so much better.
Yeah.
So we just see the Google bidding engine, the cleaner the fuel, meaning the cleaner your data, the better it's going to run. And
that's
then
really
it's
cool feature.
Yeah, the other feature we have here is before you could only send one update to a conversion. Now we've built it in that you can update an existing conversion. So where this applies is if you have a client where initially they come in and it's a small test order, like a plumber, they come out for an emergency call just to inspect the line, and that may be $100 call out. But then afterwards, it becomes like a $10,000 like sewer drain replacement. You can then update that conversion with the increased value.
Wow,
So,
that's
yeah.
really cool. So essentially, you're bridging that gap of does a lead turn into a sale in Google?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you have actual sales data. You can.
Yeah, and if you have the
work
sales
off.
value, you can do your return on ad spend when it's
Yep.
lead based instead of e-commerce based.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the e-commerce guys that use us, they typically people who if you've got an e-commerce site that also has a big phone number where people phone in orders as well, because it's usually a larger ticket item, WhatConverts does great because we've got the e-commerce order and you got the phone order, and you can tie it together and attribute it properly. And then you have the value as well. So I love those accounts.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
Okay, so I want to show you the reporting. So I'm just gonna go back to the demo agency. Okay, you're gonna make me go back and do the whole I got to go to the date range. I'm gonna try to do it in a different way to so if we go to a summary, we have a summary report here, which is super simple, but it's by design. I'll show it to you. So this is our summary report, and I tell people that this is our 30-second marketing health check that your clients love.
Mm-hmm.
Because what it does is it shows you how many leads you generated, how many of them qualified, if they do that, how many were calls, forms, chats, if it goes up and down. Let me just see if I go the next month. Yeah, there we go. So there was a decrease. So this would be a bad one to show them. But it shows the change. Let me go October. I think that makes it look pretty. Yeah, there we go. Everything's up. So it shows them like the trend,
Percentage
what's going.
increase.
Yeah. And like the one client I had where chats flatlined for a bit, so I was like, hey, who's on vacation? And they're like, how did you know? And I was like, well, we're tracking you, man.
So how does an actual report get emailed out?
Yeah.
And is that what frequency is that?
Whatever you want.
Wow. So it's technically you're also a reporting software.
Yeah, so scheduled reports as well. So you can schedule any report from our platform. You can save any report. You can use any data. And
you can say if I want a report to go out every Monday, once a month or once a week, you can just schedule that out, and it'll just automatically go out every Monday.
Yep, with
whatever time.
Yeah, and if you're white labeled with your branding, and whatever time you want.
That's really cool.
Will it pull in Google Ad spend? Is that possible?
Oh, we're literally weeks away from launching that.
Well, you'll save us like $1,000 a month in reporting costs.
Oh, yeah, it's I can show you a bit of the beta of it, but it's coming, but it's no, I'll wait before I show it, but it's pretty cool.
We'll have you back on to roll that out, because reporting is a huge piece of agency life that there's not really much options that are reasonable.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Just for reporting alone, not including anything else you've just shown us, which is insanity.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's why I get so annoyed when we get compared with other call tracking companies. We're like, guys, you can't do anything in those platforms. Our platform here is built for agencies who generate leads.
I got a question on like the light CRM front. Is there any ability to set a task to follow up with a lead in the future? Anything like where you
see that's where it starts, because it's like, should we add that? And then it's like, then you're entering the CRM world, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you need follow-up, you need a CRM. We
gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, we draw that line.
Got it.
So, but let me show you this reporting. So like, this is the summary report where it shows you that stuff, but down the bottom here, we show you your top sources, top keywords, and top landing pages. So it just gives you a nice highlight. So if your client gets this, and I learned this myself as an agency owner, your clients are always saying, I need better reporting. I need better reporting.
Mhm.
What they're really saying to you is, I'm struggling to see the value. I'm struggling to see what marketing is working for me. I'm struggling to see that my dollars are being spent effectively. That's what they're really saying. So this report, it's based on leads, and your client understands leads, because leads are the, the opportunity that becomes a sale.
Can
So
you show conversion rate
that's also coming in that new launch where we're
with
going to show
the
conversion
costs
rate.
and the cost per lead and all that stuff?
Yeah, that's
Very
coming.
cool.
But so what we do here is like, when your client says, well, what's working, what products, what keywords, it's like, well, this keyword generated these leads. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they're going to ask the question. And this is one of the questions that got me to create WhatConverts, is because it was so difficult to answer without WhatConverts. Let me just go July here. So the question is, like, we came in and we said, hey, we got you 21 leads for crowns. Isn't that amazing? And they're like, well, how do I know they're not existing customers? And we're like, well, how do I know they're any good? And it's like, I don't know. I have to go dig that up, and I don't really know, because that's in your platform, Mr. Customer. So now with WhatConverts, you can say, well, let's take a look. And it takes you to this page where it will break down, all the keywords and the leads that happened. And then from here, you can say, well, let's look at the quotable leads. So you just show quotable, and now it's going to show you the ones that have been marked as quotable. So I'm just going to clean this up. All these reports are interactive. So you can save at any stage here, you can save the report like this. So you're saying, okay, crowns, we got 4 quotable leads. Do you want to see those people? And they say, yeah, let's go see them. So you click on view lead. And now we're back to the lead manager where it applies all those filters. Why did it not apply that filter? Oh, I just need to do this. Say yes. So these are the 4 leads that came from, that one keyword kind of
And
thing.
a quotable value.
Yeah, and with a quotable value. And in this view now, it doesn't show the people's name. So you just go to client view. Oh, man, they removed my, okay, that's one. They removed the filters, but if we go back to report, I'll do that again. I must talk to them because it shouldn't lose those filters when you move between them. And it could be because this data is 2 years old. So when you got this, you look at the list, you apply this here, and then you choose columns and you say user. Oh, we got the contact name there. Okay, where's the contact? Oh, yeah, here's the contact name.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the people, and here's the patient status, new patient, and these are unknown. So you can ask him. It's a the chat, but somebody obviously was in the chat and marked as qualified, so you can look at it there.
That's
So
awesome. That's great
Very cool.
insight.
yeah, and the other reports, like the standard reports, is like, well, I'll show you the library. So from here, you got your favorites. You just star them and they become a favorite. And then you got your summary, your source, source key, like source and medium keywords, landing page. Then you got more categories like day per week, all that kind of thing. But if we do source and medium and we just view it from here. And then, so some people also like to say to me, well, Google Analytics tracks all my leads. And I usually have to stop myself from slapping them, because all they're doing is capturing a conversion action. So if you're in analytics and you say, you know what, Google Organic delivered 146 conversions. That's true. Google Analytics can do that. And I've used it for many years as an agency. But now your customer says to you, well, how many of those were good? Google Analytics can't answer that for you. If your client says, well, what was the value of those 146 conversions? Google Analytics can't tell you that either. So in WhatConverts, you can either go down to the quotable, you can even go down to quote value now. And now you're saying, okay, from Google Organic generated a value of $35,000. And then if they want to look at those at any time, you just click view leads and we will show you those exact people that generated that value. And also with Google CPC. And because you guys are, CPC guys, you want to see leads by keyword. I showed you that already. And, so you got your keywords by the different campaigns. So it shows you exactly what keywords are generating your leads.
Very cool.
Yeah. So much. It's just so much. So it does so many things.
Yeah.
It's insanity. Just all of this in one housed hub to take care of everything.
Yeah. Just make sure you highlight that in the video.
It is
But,
amazing. I'm surprised by the reporting piece alone. I mean, there's
yes.
entire software companies that only do what you just showed us in reporting.
Yes, exactly.
It's wild.
I mean, there's some more beautiful things that I love seeing. So I don't know if it's going to show well in the demo report, but like, oh, let me show you this one. So you can group by keyword, or you can group by landing page, and I'll show you what it does. It makes it even simpler for your clients. So if you're a dental client, and I've taken all the keywords for crowns and I've grouped them into one grouping for dental crowns. So it cleans up the reporting where your dentist client is looking at this report by the procedures they do. So we're showing them the leads by their procedure, instead of like crowns can have like 5 different versions of the keyword. We're just sucking it down into, we're grouping it together into just dental crowns. And you can do this in our dimension grouping over here.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then as I mentioned, so we've got a report builder. I haven't even got into these things where you can look at the trend over time on a timeline, or you can do it by a different dimension. Or if you're looking at this, you know, these appointments, and now you say like, what percent, well, like, I know all these leads came in, but I just want to see the ones I'm responsible for. So if you just like add on the source, and you know, so source is Google, Bing, and all that, and then let's add on the medium. So now I'm customizing the report, and then I can say I only want to see people that are Google. So I click on Google, and then it applies the filter. You see it on the left-hand side here. And then I only want to see people that are CPC, and you click on that. And so now you're only seeing the appointments or the procedures or the appointment set by, you know, Google Ads.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. So
I have a question. Do you have any evidence, or even anecdotal evidence or stories from agencies having increased their customer retention rate by implementing this, and like any stories along those regards? Because when we spoke last, retention or getting credit was one of the drivers that made you, conceive of this idea and the software. Do you have any stories or anything you could talk about?
Yeah, I do have stories, but one more recent one is not that they lost a client, is that they lost a bid. So we were talking to an agency in a demo. They came to us because they lost a bid because the client said they went with another agency because that other agency was using WhatConverts. They didn't say WhatConverts, but they looked at the platform, and because of the quality of the WhatConverts platform, the client went with that agency. So the one that came to us was currently, you know, with a competitor. You know the competitor.
Yeah.
So that's one evidence where it's like people are winning, projects or jobs or clients because of our platform. Another one is an agency was bidding on a job, and the guy said to him, like, how do I know you're not going to be wasting money on keywords that don't convert, into sales? And the guy says, let me show you. And he pulled up WhatConverts, and he says, this is exactly how we track it. This is how I can see what's working, what's not working. And the guy was like, okay, sign me up. After he saw how clear it is and how transparent it is, and that he could get access to that data, he was like, yeah, okay, absolutely. That's what I've been looking for. So yes, let's do it.
Got it. Very
Does
cool.
that answer that?
It does. Hey, I'm gonna I got a lot of personal questions, me and Rob do now, that we're gonna ask Michael about offline. I'm gonna end the recording here because we got about.
But hold on, before you end the recording. So
yeah.
As I mentioned, I've got my clients. I've got like 5 clients I still have from my previous agency, even though 95% of my time is on WhatConverts. I have these clients, and I have a small team that runs that side. And since using WhatConverts, because we report in value, meaning they know leads turn into sales. So they know that the leads they're getting are of value. And because I can show them so clearly, what I've been able to do over the years is they've doubled what they pay me as an agency. And what normally happens is people you're doing work for, like with campaigns, they get to a point where they're like, you know what, you're bidding on the same keywords, the ads are the same. I sort of know what you're doing. I think I can do it myself. Whereas I've changed it where when I get a new client or anyone I work with and they say, well, how many keywords are you going to manage? How many pages are you going to build? How many blog posts are you going to do? I tell them, you're not going to measure me by that. You're only going to measure me by the leads I generate and the value we generate for your business. And then they're like, okay. And we proceed on that. And then I just every month report on leads and the value being generated. And then through that, over time, where I see the opportunity to go from 100 leads to 150 leads, if they increase their budget, like it may be doing more content or doing more ads or whatever it is, or more management fees to get those results, it gives me a basis to increase it based on value. So they're getting more value for what they pay me. And now these clients have been with me for many years, super happy, and it's because they can see everything.
I think the biggest play here is what WhatConverts does is will help. If you're an agency, will help increase your client retention rate, because instead of just saying, hey, guess what? You got 50 leads last month. Isn't that awesome? You're going to show, hey, guess what? You got $11,000 last month in positive return on investment, and you spent, 4 or whatever. So you're showing them like a tangible, like, look, you made money after you paid us and after you paid Google or Facebook or whoever, right? So you're showing value, which will help obviously increase retention rate of your client base, because they're not just looking at, oh, I got 50 leads, I don't know what I closed or what turned into a deal or what, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And what you were saying, like what we're saying with reporting, marketing agencies keep reporting bigger reports, and all the reports that we use as marketers, clients don't care. They just want to say, the value I'm giving you, am I getting value back? Yeah. And if you can show them that in the reports, they're happy. They're like, you know what, those guys have got it. I'm getting value from my money spent. That's all you have to answer.
Yeah. One thing I'll throw out about the reporting, if a customer isn't, so if a lead's been generated and hasn't been designated as quotable, there should be some designation in the report that basically says X number of leads weren't assigned a value and isn't represented in the above, or something where they're getting a light spanking for not actually implementing
that's a good idea,
adjusting the data accordingly. Like this isn't a true representation of the reports because X number of leads haven't been assigned a designation, or something in there where at least they're being told like, hey, this isn't a true representation because you haven't done your job yet.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. It's just, we work with so many different things that every implementation is different, but we need something like that. We're trying to be subtle by like show the quotable value. Yep. But and if it's 0, it's like, why is that 0? Well, dude, you got to. So, but yeah,
that's why it's 0.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. All right. If people want to check out the software, where should they be going?
Go to whatconverts.com.
Okay.
I'll show you the website so they can see the spelling. So whatconverts.com, lead tracking for marketing agencies and clients.
Awesome. Sounds good. We're going to end it here. Michael, stick around. I got some questions for you.
Awesome.
Right, thank you very much for your time, guys. Rob, Michael, see you guys in a bit. I'm going on the recording now.